So for this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this top from an old pants that I made. The first thing that I did was to deconstruct it and remove the zipper. And then I removed the stitches on the hem. And then remove the stitches from the side seams and from the crotch area. And then here I am just trying to figure out what the pattern pieces would look like. The original idea I had for this design was to have ruffles on the empire line, but while I was making it, I forgot to do it. So here I'm just trying to do flat pattern making, which I'm not an expert in. That's why I made a lot of mistakes and I had to alter it later on in the video. So I suggest you just go to your mannequin or just try to fit the paper around your bust area to make your pattern. Here I am just cutting and spreading it out so that I could have that full and bits of flare. Do it the same for the back side. And I end up with these patterns. This is what the pattern looks like after I altered it. So on this part of the video, I'm just cutting out the pattern on the main fabric, and as you can see, I didn't cut exactly from the center, front, and the hem because I forgot to include those measurements when I was making the pattern. Do the same thing for the back side. And then just cut out the pieces from the other patterns. And this is what I ended up with. But do not forget that in this part, I made the mistake and I haven't yet altered it. So just use the other pattern I've shown before in the video, the one that is more pointed. So just sew right sides together and then open up the seams so it lays flat and it doesn't bulk. And then just sew the upper part of the bust right sides together. So I already went ahead and sewed the front and back pieces right sides together. So this is what it looks like. And my back piece should be a soft curve, so I just cut it out. And then I lay them right sides together and sew the side seams. So here I am just trying to find the notch so that I know where to connect the seam from the bust area to the bottom part of the bodice. Use as many pins as you think you need because this is a curved part and it's really hard to straighten it out and to flatten it. If it helps, what I did was to actually start sewing on where the center seam is on the bust area, just so that I am sure that it aligns perfectly and it doesn't move. So here, as you can see, my bust area is so flat. It's because I was using the wrong pattern. So here I am just marking out my straps. I wanted a 1-inch strap, so I am measuring 3 inches, 2 inches for folding and 1 inch for the seam allowance. And then just sew it right sides together. And then using a pin or a loop turner, turn it inside out. So this is my first try of the top, and I can notice that there is a lot of excess fabric and it's not really fitted on me, which is good because I'm not planning to put on zipper at the back. So I decided to just put elastic at the top part of the back so it hugs my body. This is also a good time to check how long you want your straps to be and where you wanted it to be located. At this stage, I already noticed how it seemed to be not hugging my bust area properly, but I was still so in denial about it. I was still trying to make it work by folding it and tugging on the back so it becomes more fitted, but it really doesn't help. So here I am just marking where I want the strap to be and pin it and just folding it in half so that it can be identical where I put the other straps. Here I am just overlocking the edges because the next step that I will be making is adding the lining. I will only add lining to the bust area and again use the proper pattern for the top area because the fabric is like denim and I don't want it to be irritating my skin. Adding lining to the bust area would really make that part thicker because the problem with the design is it's not compatible with a lot of brassieres and I don't think it looks nice for the bra to be showing. So I just pressed on the bodice just so that the seams lay flat and it looks more professionally made. This is the part where I started to attach the lining bust to my main fabric. So I just pinned it in place at the top area and sew them right sides together. And this is what it looks like. The next thing that I did was to understitch it so that the lining won't show up when I'm wearing it. And then I cut up notches around the curved area just so that it lays flat and it looks smooth. Here I'm just applying the elastic at the back. So I zigzag the top area and then I put on elastic. I stretch as I sew with a zigzag stitch. So this is the part where I tried it again and I really was trying to make it work so that I don't have to repeat the bust area again. So I started placing darts on where the gaping is. And it looks fine, but I just don't like the close-up look of it and it doesn't look professional to me. Another thing that I thought of was to actually put elastic at the top so that it scrunches up, but it didn't really come out the way I hoped to. So I removed it again, and then this is when I decided I should just repeat it. So here I am just placing the darts where they should be so that I have an idea on what my new pattern would look like. And then I am mimicking that on the pattern paper. And it looks like this. And then just going back to the back part where the elastic was sewn, I just folded it once so it has a cleaner finish. So here I have finished the alterations that I have to make on the main fabric and on the lining. So I just folded the bottom part of the lining and just hand stitched it with an invisible stitch. One thing that I can advise for people who make their own clothes is that you should take your time and you should really strive for perfection or at least excellence, because you want to have a good quality cloth that you can wear for a long time. rather than just having a cute piece and after 1 or 2 wears, it's going to break. You're already making the cloth. Might as well do it well. And then the last thing that I did was to hem the bottom. And this is what it looks like.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
This is how I styled this top. But I think you can also match it with jeans, especially black ones, and rubber shoes. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.